Stepbrother of 6 months. My mum married his dad. So a few weeks ago in a morning I noticed my stuff in my room had moved. I told my brother, Big Bio brother, 23, and he didn't take me seriously but taught me how to record my room at nights with my phone. I've been recording myself every night and nothing happened, so I was ready to believe that nothing had happened that night. This weekend however, stepbrother came into my room at about 3:15 am. He came to me with scissors, cut a small piece of my hair and left my room. It was so weird and shocking. It was a very small amount, something I likely wouldn't have noticed. I sent the video to my siblings, brother and bio sister, 19. They told me to pack a bag immediately and picked me up and took me with them. They sent the video to parents. Parents questioned stepbrother and he says he doesn't remember doing it at all and said he was likely sleepwalking and asked to see a doctor. I don't believe him and neither do my siblings. Parents want to solve this problem by taking both of us to family therapy. They want me to come home and discuss this, all 4 of us. They say I'm not in any real danger, as he didn't hurt me or do anything inappropriate or sexual. My siblings strongly disagree and say what he did was very inappropriate and they're not going to let me go back there as long as stepbrother still lives there. Parents say they will install a lock on my door so that I can lock myself in at nights. Step-father is upset at my siblings and claims they've turned this into a much larger issue than it is. He says they could have just parented the problem away by punishing and it's not a big deal. Honestly, I keep hearing everyone with strong opinions about this and I don't know who's right or wrong. What should I do? Do I go back? Do I just never go back? My best friend says I should just go to the police and press charges against stepbrother. TLDR, stepbrother snuck into my room at night and cut a small piece of my hair with scissors. I'm now staying with siblings and parents want me back, siblings want me to stay and I don't know what to do.
Family law attorney here. But this is not legal advice. You need to consult an attorney in your jurisdiction state. Google child welfare attorney in your city. Have your sibling go with you. Just get the lay of the land. Because you aren't 18 yet, you actually cannot contract with an attorney in most circumstances. Take the video and whatever other documentation you have. If there are other things that seem odd about your stepbro, bring it up during the consultation. Make a single, individual therapy session with a counselor who specializes in sexual issues, trauma response, or something similar. This is not necessarily for you. You just want a counselor who can ID some of the hallmark issues in your stepbrother. Don't sleep at that house. Don't go to family counseling. Counseling with an abuser perpetrator is just another opportunity for you to be victimized. When you talk with the attorney and the counselor for you, not family, spare no details. If there is something you don't know, don't speculate. Just the facts. Both the attorney and the counselor are likely mandatory reporters. If something needs to be reported to Child Protective Services, one or both will do so. But calling the police is not something you need to do unless you want to, and if so, go for it. But consulting a lawyer and a counselor are very natural things for you to do right now, and this action will deflect any blame from you if CPS is called. Frankly, if the kid is 16/17 and doing this, he's done it before and is likely a victim himself. CPS probably does need to be called. FYI, if you call CPS yourself, the identity of the caller is always confidential. Regarding hiring an attorney, don't look for free consults. Don't be scared of a consultation fee. Free consults are worth what you pay for them. Don't rely on Google either, lawyers pay for clicks, so keep that in mind. Look for board certified in child welfare or family law. I'm in Texas. Other states may have other ways of distinguishing specialized attorneys from others that I am not familiar with. AAML equals American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers is pretty exclusive. Be snotty. Call one of them up, any lawyer will give you 15 minutes for free and ask for who they refer, child welfare, cases. When in the phone, this is your elevator pitch. I'm 16, living in a blended family with my mom, stepdad and stepbrother. I think my stepbrother has assaulted me, but my mom is wanting me to go to family counseling with my stepbrother. Can you give me some names of child welfare attorneys that I can speak to learn about my rights here? Also, completely forgot about victims advocacy groups. They can help you immensely as well.
And GT, as he didn't hurt me * or do anything inappropriate * or sexual. On what planet is that appropriate?
If they're so confident about how non-threatening it is, tell them to tell all their friends and family and see what kind of reaction they get.
And GT, parents questioned step-brother and he says he doesn't remember doing it at all and said he was likely sleepwalking and asked to see a doctor. I don't believe him and neither do my siblings. That is not how sleepwalking works. I used to have a real problem with sleepwalking when I was younger, so I researched the hell out of it, and most people don't do complex mechanical actions like retrieving scissors, sneaking into a room, and stealthily cutting someone's hair. He was likely awake and he did this deliberately. I don't know why he did this, but my gut instinct for anything weird involving a 16-year-old boy doing something to violate the body autonomy of a 16-year-old girl is that it's somehow sexual in nature, at least on his end. And GT, they say I'm not in any real danger, as he didn't hurt me or do anything inappropriate or sexual. My siblings strongly disagree and say what he did was very inappropriate and they're not going to let me go back there as long as stepbrother still lives there. Parents say they will install a lock on my door so that I can lock myself in at nights. You sound like you've got a great support system in your siblings and I'm glad you're with them. They've got good heads on their shoulders, too. Because this is not the sort of problem that a simple grounding will fix the way your stepfather apparently wants. And GT, stepfather is upset at my siblings and claims they've turned this into a much larger issue than it is. He says they could have just parented the problem away by punishing and it's not a big deal. See, this is why you can't go back yet. Your mom may be on board with family therapy, but it sounds like your stepdad just wants this all to go away and he'll probably try to solve the problem by grounding your stepbrother and calling it a day. That's not going to fix whatever is going on here, because it doesn't seem like this was just a simple prank, but that's how your stepdad wants to handle it. If it were just a prank, he wouldn't have taken such a small amount that you would never notice if not for the camera. That makes me think he's got some other issue with you, and without knowing what it is, I don't think it's safe for you to be there. Especially since both parents aren't taking it particularly seriously, which means they're not going to have your back if something else happens. Tell them that family therapy sounds like a great idea and to let you know how it turns out, because you're not going back until he's coming clean about what he did and why, and you feel confident that your parents actually want to address it. Locking you in your room isn't a solution. *edit*. Since this is getting a surprising amount of attention, let me clarify something. Yes, I'm sure many of you have done your taxes while juggling chainsaws and reciting the Declaration of Independence while sleepwalking, but that is not the norm. The point is that the brother's story of stealthily cutting someone's hair while sleeping is extremely unlikely. It's not just the complexity of the action but also the thought necessary to do so without drawing attention to yourself. Something missing from everyone's personal anecdote of that time they assembled a space shuttle and flew to the moon while sleepwalking is any sort of awareness of the possibility of being caught, because that's not something that concerns you when you're sleepwalking.
And GT, stepfather is upset at my siblings and claims they've turned this into a much larger issue than it is. He says they could have just parented the problem away by punishing and it's not a big deal. You gave them a chance to fix the problem by parenting and they suggested that you need family counseling to convince you that it isn't stepbro's fault. Then they offered to lock you into your room at night.
Listen to your siblings. Your mom wants you to just grin and bear it so she can have a happy little home with her new husband. Both of them are in denial over how serious this situation is. Your stepbrother for sure needs therapy, but you do not need to be in the house when that happens. Stay away. Big no. Huge no.
Everyone seems to have forgotten that the stepbrother has been in OP's room before. Did anything seem to be missing? If so, as it would seem, he is taking trophies and that is not a good thing. Stay away.
And GT, stepfather is upset at my siblings and claims they've turned this into a much larger issue than it is. He says they could have just parented the problem away by punishing and it's not a big deal. I bet he wouldn't have the same tone if it was his own biological daughter getting assaulted.
It's really interesting TBAT your stepdad, who is obviously running THR show from your comments, does not believe that it's sleepwalking. How do I know this? Therapy is not a treatment for sleepwalking. So he knows his kid is a fuck-up. I think. Everyone here is worried that the group aspect of the therapy will be used to avoid any blame for stepbro. If anything, this has a DARVO atmosphere. DARVO is an acronym used to describe a common strategy of abusers. The abuser will deny the abuse ever took place, then attack the victim for attempting to hold the abuser accountable, then they will lie and claim that they, the abuser, are the real victim in the situation, thus reversing the victim and offender. Thank the stars for your elder. Sibs and stay with them while this all plays out.
Why do your parents think you need to go to therapy for something he did? This isn't a he said she said situation. You have video evidence of the incident. This is purely your step-brother's doing.